Nah, that's just Genie Bus fudging up the Lakers.
You guys, I'm awesome. Appreciate you very much.
Going on, dudes and dudettes. I know this video might be uploaded pretty late, but that's what we gotta do sometimes. So yes, Duke basketball did pick up another big time commit in the 2020 5-star point guard Jeremy Roach. It's a 6'2" guy, looks pretty good. Not like the crazy most athletic guy, especially for a 5-star, but he knows how to score, he knows how to get to the basket very easily, can play make very well, so I'm very excited to see what he could do next year. Then also we have a little bit of NBA news coming from the Knicks. Apparently they favor Cam Reddish's game a bit more than most of the top prospects, which is kind of crazy, but I guess that's why the Knicks will always be in the crappy position that they are, just like how the Lakers are with some of their draft picks as well that they missed out on. But I think Cam Reddish can be a pretty good guy for a team, but maybe not as in a top 5 pick in my opinion, but he could definitely help out some type of team, especially a playoff team coming off the bench. That's where I think he should start, but obviously he's going to go to a crappy team, have to start for them, and might take him into his 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th season to finally start playing good basketball in the NBA. Then also Javin DeLaurier, one of the juniors, along with Marquise Bolden, that are trying out for NBA teams and going to these mini camps before the NBA Combine to see if any teams are interested in them, just to get more eyes on them, more exposure, more people to see what they can do before the main Combine starts, and even if they get invited to that or not, or invited by teams. But it's good. It's looking good so far, at least for him. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be much room for him if he wants to come back. I don't know if he's graduated or not, either with Marquise Bolden as well, but if they were graduated already from Duke, they could just transfer out somewhere else, try to play right away, but don't know if they've graduated yet, so they might have to still sit out a year if that's where the case. Then also, that was a little picture or screenshot I took of when Stephen A. Smith was talking about, I believe it was after Game 5 of the Warriors in Houston. You saw after the game him giving his report on the game. Back there, Quinn Cook, the ex-Duke point guard, getting up some shots because he knew that once Kevin Durant's news when he strained his calf was going to be keeping him out for the rest of the series, you know, he had to get shots up before they got to Houston, and obviously he prevailed tonight where Golden State won and advanced to at least the Western Conference Finals. It's going to suck. Obviously, I'm only pulling for Portland because they have more Duke players, but either team, it doesn't seem like they're going to beat Golden State in my opinion. They could have had a chance to beat Houston, but if it's Golden State and maybe the possibility of Kevin Durant coming back, doesn't seem logical as any other team is going to represent the Western Conference this year. It's a little bit of USC, yes, USC football news. So I guess she's gonna just stay on there. But as far as USC football news, a little bit on the recruiting trail. This last signing day, we missed out on Chris Steele, the cornerback, one of the top guys from St. John Bosco out here in California. Decided to go to Florida with a lot of coaches he was really high on, but I guess there was some incident on campus where his roommate ended up There's like a domestic disturbance or maybe even a sexual assault thing that happened with his roommate. So he obviously didn't trust the whole situation around there and the way they were handling it. So now he entered the transfer portal, just like Brew McCoy, one of the more notable other guys who are just barely going into their spring in college, and they're both already entered the transfer portal. But if he was able to transfer to Texas out of USC, then pretty sure they're going to allow Chris Steele to transfer wherever he likes and play right away this year as well, kind of as his freshman season. Obviously, I hope he comes to USC, thinks about us once again. Definitely have his friend and tight end Jude Wolf, who graduated with him, but he's at USC right now, so I'm pretty sure he's going to try to get him over there. And they're asking if there's enough room for Chris Steele. It's like, duh, obviously. I mean, one of the lowest parts that they had less guys at the position was the cornerback, and this guy I think could definitely be your second cornerback starting, or even the top guy coming off the bench already. So kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. And Matt Fink, a quarterback who everyone thought was transferring to Illinois, is clarifying that he has not committed to transferring there yet. There was news obviously before even he was going to transfer officially that he had the option of coming back as well. He just went all his other options, he's saying, so he hasn't really committed to Illinois or any other school, but he's still going to take some time to think about that. And he still has 2 years of eligibility left, which I didn't know, so no matter where he goes, because he already graduated this offseason, then he's going to have a lot of time to play. That's going to be good for him. Now I remember reporting that Porter Gustin was able to sign as an undrafted free agent with the Saints, but it did let go of one of the prospects that I was really looking for the Chargers to draft or sign at any time, in the linebacker Chase Hansen from Utah. But I guess it turns out I didn't really do much history on him, that he ended up having surgery in January for a herniated disc that he messed up during the season. And I guess throughout his whole career at Utah, he's been getting hit with the injury bug, but they took a chance on Jude Tranquil from Notre Dame, who was at that same position, kind of the free safety / linebacker, but they drafted him in the 4th round, so maybe they could look at him, still sign him, and see if he can make the team if he's healthy enough. And Mobley, the 5-star freshman for coming in for USC basketball, has solidified his status of being a 5-star, so it's obvious that they're getting a pretty talented guy. I think he was named the MVP of one of the more recent all-star games for high school guys, which is pretty good, so glad he's at least on one of my teams. Then in other USC basketball news, Derek Thornton, the ex-point guard for Duke that transferred to USC and only played this last season because he had to sit out for 1 year. But even though he played in 27 games, he's going to graduate transfer again, so he has one more year left of eligibility. Don't know where he's going to go. I know one of the other guys who transferred a little bit ago, the center Victor Yu, he is transferring to Townsend. Kind of surprising at first, but they are getting a top 100 recruit in Townsend, but also his brother is there as well, so maybe that was the reason why he chose that school. So good luck to him. Then some Chargers news. So Phillip Rivers says they haven't been in any contract negotiations or talks, but he believes he's going to be the quarterback not only after this season, but at least for next season as well. Obviously, you know me, I hope not, but if that's all we can do, and if that's all we can get, then I guess we're just gonna have to keep him for a little bit longer, whatever heck he has left in his career. Then there's also a guy, big name free agent, that they're waiting kind of to see if the Chargers are gonna sign him, because all roads lead to him signing with the Chargers, and the defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh, who was just with the Rams. But I believe there's a little thing that for some of the free agents that are left, if you sign them before June 1st, then you have to give up one of your draft picks in a later draft. So if nobody signs him, I'm pretty sure most likely after June 1st, he's going to be an LA Charger, which will be very interesting. And hopefully within a few weeks, I'll be able to talk about it and make it come to fruition, but just going to have to wait and see. bright spots of news coming out of Lakerland this week is that Kyle Kuzma is going to be representing them at the NBA draft lottery. I don't know if it's within the next couple weeks or maybe next month, but he's going to at least be there, try to give him some luck. I know some other teams like the Knicks had Patrick Ewing there when they got the number 1 pick, when they were probably picked to like number 14 that year, yet somehow they got number 1. So maybe somehow the luck goes our way in the lottery and the NBA gods help out the Lakers get Zion Williamson, who I think they should keep and not use as a bargaining chip to, like, say, New Orleans for an Anthony Davis, just because once again you're going to give up your future for a guy who has injury issues and don't really know if he's going to sign somewhere else after this season, and you could get him for free basically next year, in my opinion. And then there's also like a little report that Kyrie needs LeBron after Boston was just bounced out of the playoffs in the second round. And there's that picture of Kyrie and the Laker in gold. I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, I guess Kyrie could play a lot better. But I think he could be good being the number 2 to any other star, no matter who he played with, in my opinion. If he tries to be the number 1 guy like he was the last year and a half with the Celtics, I don't think it's going to be all that positive for him, in my opinion. So I know an ex-Duke guy, but I don't think with the toxicity that lies in LA right now, especially with all the dysfunction going on with freaking Genie Bus that woke me up in the beginning of the video, but then hearing Linda Rambis again in these talks, and then there's also saying that they're not going to hire anybody above Rob Pelinka. So does that mean he's the president now of the LA Lakers? I don't know. They haven't made that official either. And then they almost had a deal with Tyronn Lue, and then the next day that got taken out because they only offered him the same amount of years that LeBron is only going to be there for. And then he basically thought that they're going to just kick him out after LeBron left or retired and not like renew his contract. And then there's also things about him having to put Kurt Rambis on his coaching staff, or even Jason Kidd on his coaching staff, and obviously he didn't want to do that. He felt disrespected, but in my opinion, he's only a NBA championship coach and went to 3 or 4 straight finals because of LeBron. And once LeBron left that year, he was fired pretty early in that year. And I know he wants to blame it on health issues, but I don't know. I think it was just a saying where Cleveland just wanted to get rid of him because they wouldn't have signed him to a huge extension if they believed in him that much, and then just let him go once LeBron left that first year. So kind of writings on the wall right there. But a lot of guys they've interviewed so far, JB Bickerstaff seems okay, but I don't think he'll gel well with LeBron. I know Frank Vogel is one of my favorite my favorite coaches out there. He did really well in Indiana when he had guys like Paul George and Roy Hibbert. Went to a couple conference finals where they met LeBron in that conference finals, but he was able to bring that team together. A lot of young talent. Also, he did pretty well bringing up those guys like Nikola Vucevic, and like Aaron Gordon and Terrence Ross out there in Orlando before he got fired last year. So I think he could work pretty well with young talent along with Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd does have a domestic violence history, so you never know how that's going to go, but he could be very well for the point guards and for LeBron, in my opinion. And even today was like the big protests outside the Staples Center of Lakers fans. I mean, it's just going really bad. And then there's Jalen Rose said sometime this week that if the Lakers don't get the coach that LeBron wants, then he should demand a trade. And the close circle that Jeannie Buss has, the reports are saying that they want her to sell, or not sell, but trade LeBron also. I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of crap all over the place. You got to see what happens with your luck with the draft. Maybe you can secure a top 3 or even 5 pick to get a game changer type of guy that high in the draft, and then maybe want to trade out LeBron for something else, whether it's more draft picks or another established player, and then that way you even save enough money to get 2 free agents this offseason and not just 1. But that's just the way, if all hell goes to loose, that's the way I would be thinking. Probably the Lakers, but who knows what the heck Rob Pelinka's thinking right now. But I guess Magic Johnson was correct to get out when he did. But thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Obviously not a very happy camper with all the Lakers news. Hopefully he gets situated before the NBA Combine, but I think that's coming up pretty soon as well. So God save us all. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.